Hey, what's up? This is your girl Diamond. I go live every Friday at 7. I'm a little bit late today, but we will be okay. And today we're going to talk about, all this Sidney Star stuff and other things and all that kind of jazz. Make sure if you are returning, you thumbs up so we don't forget it. If you are new here, welcome. Make sure you subscribe. Hey, Kush, how are you? Hey, Andre. Giselle. Come on, King James. The King James version. I am doing really good. I went out to lunch with a homegirl yesterday, and we ate really good at this delicious Mexican restaurant. And so I came home full as a tick, as my granddad would say, and went to sleep earlier than I normally do. And so I'm sleepy. So I'm well rested. Well rested and feel good. Come on, Ain't Never Caught Alive. It's at 7 on Friday every week. And sometime in the middle of the week if I'm feeling it. But every Friday at 7, usually. Unless I'm traveling. Yes. It's been a week. We had a time to chill on the conversation. It just happened Sunday. It ain't even been a week yet, but we had a time to chill on conversation and see how people have reacted. I don't see anything surprising. I see a lot of what I expected. I'm on time today. Come on time. I'm not even on time today. I had to go to HEB and do a little grocery shopping. So I went and got me some fruits, some grapefruits and apples that I need for the rest of the week, and some ricotta cheese because I've been craving ricotta cheese with hot honey and pistachios, and so I had to go pick some of that up. Since they've been definitely reacting, child, yes. Grapefruits are my fave. Yes, I love grapefruits. I didn't used to love them when I was younger, but as I got older, I guess my palate changed, so I started liking them more. But how is y'all week going? We got to shoot the shit a little bit just before we get to starting the conversation. If you are new here, just to give you idea how it goes down. So I have my settings to where only people who are subscribers to my channel can comment. The reason why I did that, I don't mind talking to people who are not subscribers, but years ago when we would have it open to all, people would come in and be racist and homophobic and transphobic and misogynistic and be all weird like that. And so once we locked down and only made it subscribers, it alleviated those kind of bullshit ass trolls. And so I kind of like it like that. Now, I don't mind you coming in and having different opinions and respectfully sharing your different opinion. I don't mind all of that. That's okay for you to do. I appreciate that. But any kind of disrespect, like if you have questions that may be rooted in homophobia, questions that may be rooted in transphobia, questions rooted in misogyny, I don't actually mind that. I actually like it because it's a chance for us to learn together and kind of go back and forth and share our opinions. I don't mind that. I actually think that that's amazing. But you is not going to come in here and get to putting monkey signs up, using the N word, and using slurs and being just disrespectful just for the sake of being disrespectful, just to be disruptive. I don't like that. And that's not going to happen. And this here spot on the internet, there's tons of spots on the internet, but this here spot on the internet where I control, it is not a democracy. It is a dictatorship, and I am the dictator. So if you on some bullshit, you get blocked. If you on some disrespectful shit, and remember, I don't think being opposite of me, a different opinion of me, is disrespectful. I think that's great. That's just dialogue back and forth. But you can have a conversation about your opinions without disrespecting me. And so, or people in the comment, and not just me, it's other people. I don't like you. I don't let you disrespect my folks either. So I just want that to be clear. So if you want to join the conversation, make sure you subscribe. And you don't have to agree with me, but you're going to be respectful here, or take your ass on. I do cuss motherfuckers out, so it's never going to be, I'm never going to be on the internet and not, and I pretend like I'm super nice. I don't read motherfuckers. I read motherfuckers. If you get too much, that's just what it is. And so that's just what it is. We have a couple of moderators who will, sometimes they block you before I have to be like, no, don't block. Sometimes they block you before I get a chance to talk to you, which I love, but I have to say, nah, don't block them yet. We want to see what's going on. But yes, that's what we do here. I'm loving this twister blouse. Come on, twister blouse. Yes. A little polka dot moment. I love a little polka dot. Let me see. I love ricotta with a good cracker. I love it with crostini. That's a pretty lip. Thank you. It's just a typical blue red. Girl, it's been a week. I'm visiting Boston for the 5th time, but the first time that's longer than 2 days. I've been here for a week and it's not given like it was on my prior visit. I miss New York. I've been to Boston. So y'all know I grew up a couple of years, like 4 years in Boston when in my younger years, from 90 to like 93. I lived in Boston, and it actually was quite a culture shock moving from Indianapolis to Boston. And I really enjoyed it. I really loved it. But I lived in Brockton. I lived in Boston, like different spots. So I lived in Revere. I lived in Dorchester, which is like the hood. Dorchester, and I lived in Brockton. Brockton mostly, but in the beginning we were in Dorchester and Revere. Was it another place? Saugus. We was a little bit in Saugus, but mostly we were in Boston, in Brockton. And Brockton has a high percentage Black folks, especially when I was there. But it was also smack dab in the middle of the crack epidemic, so the niggas was crackheads, including my mama and stepdaddy. So it was wild. It was nasty work, but I loved it. It was definitely nasty work. Brockton, I could never do that. Tell me now, I was a kid. What is the adult perception of Brockton now? I'm in Jamaica Plains, which is actually very green, and the homes are beautiful. Then I'll spend a week in Somerville. What do you do? What is your job? What's your job that has you doing all of that? We're gonna start the conversation when we get done kicking. We give people, about 15 minutes to join before we start the conversation. If you are new here, um, but while y'all wait, you can thumbs up because it's 37 people in here and only 12 people done thumbs up. What y'all waiting on? That's free. That don't cost no money. That's the cheapest free 99 way to support the doll. I work remotely as a HR consultant, but I am house sitting, which allows me to travel all over. Oh, okay, cute. Thank you. It's majority Cape Verdean now and ghetto. Oh, it was ghetto then. It was ghetto and multicultural when I lived there. I lived on, there's a street called Green Street. I can still see my house when I go to Google Maps. I can still see my house, but they have it blurred out. You know how you can see some houses, but it's some kind of something that you can do to blur out a house, and they have it blurred out. I'm like, why they have it blurred out? It's some kind of setting that you can hit up Google and change it to where it can blur out a house or something. But yeah, my house that I used to live in, I went and tried to look at it on Google Maps, and it was blurred. I wish that I was older at the time because I wasn't sexually active in at that time because I was a kid. So, but I wish I was older in them streets, maybe in Boston streets, because it was so many cute ass boys when I was growing up. It was like, ooh, I wish I was way more. Wish I was a little bit more older because I didn't get to play in Boston like I really wanted to. I was too young and didn't know about nothing. Shit, I don't think, yeah. I think I was yeah, I think I had shit. By that time I had just learned to masturbate. When y'all start masturbating, how old were y'all? I was like 9 or 10. How old were y'all when y'all started to flick the bean or stroke the chicken? Whatever you have. How old were y'all? I was like 9 or 10. I was like, yeah, I think how I learned. Well, I don't know about learned. Well, I guess it was a lesson, child. How I learned. I don't know if I think I talked about this before. 14. Um, so I was in a shelter with my mom in Boston. 12 when I started. Come on, 12. Um, I didn't. mm, I'll talk about that later. 10, and I didn't have sex until I was 16. I was 10 and I didn't have sex until I was till 19, but I didn't have sex till I was 16. But I started masturbating around 9 or 10. It could have been 9, but I distinctly remember 10. I think 10. But I could have been 9 too. I think I start getting aroused at 9, like boners at 9. Like it started to be like, oh, what's going on? But I think I started, you know, um, like kind of playing with it at like 10. But I remember the first time nutting. I think I was already kind of playing with it, but the first time nutting was like definitely 10. So I was in a shelter with my mom, and I had a girlfriend named Kiana. All my girlfriends look like Lupita Nyong'o. When I was a kid, my girls that I gravitated to were like very, very dark skinned, pretty girls. I remember when I was a kid, it was a girl named April. That was when I was like, you know, 6, 7, 8. Her name was April. And then when I went to Boston at 9, 10, I had a girlfriend. Her name was Kiana. And Kiana was dark, chocolate, and beautiful. She just was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And she was I don't say way bigger than me, but she was bigger than me. And loved to fight, honey. And so I was still in that age where the rules was boys don't hit girls and all that kind of stuff. You know, I grew out of that, baby. I would thump them hoes quick. By the time I'm in my teens, y'all getting twirled. Well, actually, Kiana is the one who pushed me to be like, nah, bitch, I'm twirling you. Because Kiana grew up with a bunch of boys and she was rough and tumble. And I wasn't, growing up in Kojic church, I wasn't used to the girls being allowed to be rough and tumble. The girls weren't allowed to be rough and tumble when I was growing up. They had to go sit their ass down. And so I didn't really, you know, I'm not violent like that. So I never really got into it with girls in my early younger years. So Kiana, if you ain't doing what she think you supposed to do, baby, Kiana will knock you. And this one time, so at this time, we all live in a shelter. My mom and her mom live in a shelter. So it's me, my two younger brothers. So my younger brother is, I'm like 10, so that means my other brother is like 5. And then my youngest brother is just born. He was born in 90. So, child, Kiana and her mom has 3 kids too. A younger girl, a middle girl, which is Kiana, and an older boy who is 13, D. And so Kiana, I remember this one time, honey, I was trying to play with D. It wasn't any kind of sexual stuff going on because I was too young. It wasn't nothing. I wasn't thinking about sexual stuff with that. But I did like video games. I did like stuff. And D was like 13 and he liked video games and stuff. So when I would want to play video games with D, Kiana would be kind of tripping about it. And so now, mind you, she's my same age, 10. She want me to go play whatever she want to play. And I'm like, nah, baby. Miss Thing hauled off and socked me. And I ran after her to sock her back. And she grabbed me by my hair because my hair was long at the time. She grabbed me by my hair and swung me like a helicopter. Because she was bigger than me. I think, of course, boys get taller than girls over time, but I think their growth spurt physically comes faster biologically, and so they'll get taller than boys, and then the boys will shoot up. Anyway, so she was taller than me and bigger in size because I was a skinny mini at the time, and she swung me, baby. I took one of them. I went in this playroom and I took one of them. Y'all remember the toys? They used to have bowling pins that you have to sit up and kind of roll the bowling pin, but they're like plastic, like plastic toy bowling pins. They're like plastic. Baby, I grabbed one of them bowling pins and they really hollow, but if you hit somebody right with that end part, it's kind of hefty right there at the end, baby. I said, boom, 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 and just kept on whacking her. Boom, boom. And her brother, the 13-year-old, is like, whoa, whoa. He don't like Kiana because that's his little sister. And he done seen her bullying me and blah, blah, blah. But this supposed to be my girlfriend. But she done whacked me and swung me in a helicopter. So, baby, I got that bowling pin and was whacking her. Boom, 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 boom. And it gave her a black eye. And she told her mother, and her mother came down and was like going off on me. And they went and got my mama. And my mom was like, baby, from what the other kids are saying, she socked him and and she swung him. So this tell your little rugrat to keep her motherfucking hands to herself. So it didn't turn into nothing. She got in trouble because everybody confirmed that she was bothering me. But that was the dynamic of and we are living in a convent, y'all. This is a convent. This ain't just a shelter. It is a convent. So it's like nuns, like convent, like Sister Act 1. So I want y'all to imagine Sister Act 1, convent like that. So we live in a place exactly like Sister Act 1. That's what it looks like. So we fighting in the middle of the nuns' quarters and shit. It's so funny. It was so funny. But anyway, I'm trying to tell you how I started masturbating. So her brother D, in this convent, there is a room that is like the entertainment room. Like it has a couch, like 3 big couches. Then it has like the TV, and then it has like a billiard table. It has like a ping pong table. It has just a bunch of entertainment stuff that you can do. Music be playing sometimes, but that's only a certain hours because the nuns don't play. What else is in there? I don't know. It's like a carpet. It's like it's just a chill little entertainment spot. Like somebody done refurbished their basement type of deal. So I'm sitting there on, so you know how you can sit not on the couch but in front of the couch. Like my back is on the arm of the couch, but my butt is on the floor. D is sitting on the couch, laying on it like long ways, like like that. So I'm right on the couch. So we just watch a TV, and D says something along the lines of, "Do I know how to, jack off?" And I was like, "What's that?" And he was like, "Oh, hold on." And so what I don't know is he's up here masturbating. He has his hands in his pants, but I don't know it because I don't know anything. I'm young. I'm like 10. And so he's up there and he reaches his pants out of his hand out of his pants, and he do like this. And it's some clear white stuff in his fingers. And I'm like, oh, what is that? Like, I'm grossed out because it's like, what is that came out of your stuff? Like, I'm thinking, he was like, this is called cum. And I was like, oh, what is that? And he was like, if you keep rubbing it, it'll come out. You want me to show you how to do it? And I was like, sure. So we go back. So we leave the entertainment room and we go back to, there's another room that's more like educate. It's just as full as the fucking entertainment room, but it's more like educational stuff. Like it looks more like a classroom because it got a desk, it got all the educational stuff like books, blocks with the shapes, anything. It looks more like a classroom instead of the entertainment stuff. It's more like classroom. And so, but you can't be in there after a certain time. After a certain time, I don't know, they would have all the lights shut off in there. But there's also, y'all remember them, y'all remember when this used to be a great, I'm showing my age, but back in the day when you get to go to gym, like you got PE class, it was one day that the gym teacher bring out these plastic things with wheels on them, and you can roll around the gym with them. Do y'all remember them? Like it got handles on it, and like you can lay your body on it, and it got wheels. Do y'all remember that? Am I showing my age? Is it? Do they even have them no more? And it was like every year, the day that the gym teacher let us play with those, it was like the best day. We've been waiting for this day. Do y'all remember them? I don't know. I don't even know what to call them. Um, they had wooden ones too. Oh, I don't remember no wooden ones. Ours was plastic, like blue and plastic with handles on them. Little flat scooters, yeah. They came in most. See, ours was blue. They were blue with handles. 2000, 2013. Well, I didn't go to school during that time. I'm way older than that. Well, I was in school, but I was in college. I wasn't in elementary. But ours didn't have handles. So yes, ours looked like it was kind of like a hexagon, and there was handles, and you can put your whole body on it. I hope that everyone has a wonderful, safe weekend. You're looking. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I would be banging my hand on the handles and the wheels suspended and lost balance. So yeah, so we in the education room, we had them too, but so in the gym at school we had a bunch of them for all the students, but in the convent it was like maybe like 4. And then they also had these mats, these really plastic shiny mats that were like thin and flat, but you can lay them down on the floor and lay down when it's time to take a nap. And so we had these too in our elementary. When it was nap time, we would go to our cubby holes and bring our mats out and lay down and take a nap, and then put them back up when we're done taking a nap. And so they were like blue and plastic. Well, look, they were shiny like plastic. Anyway, we had those in there. And so when me and Dee went into the room, they were in a pile, like in the middle, not in the middle of the classroom, but kind of like in the middle of over to the middle. Anyway, and so kind of like a giant silicone baking sheet, kinda. We used to lay our chest and stomach on the platform and roll things with our hands like a shark. Yes. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all old bitches too. So we go into this little classroom, and we sit down on the mat. Me and Dee go in there and sit down on the mat. So he closes the door, and so it's no lights on in there except the lights that's shining through the windows. You feel me? The lights are shining through the windows. So we can see, but it looks like nobody's in there because the lights is off. So he sits down and he has some lotion and he put it on his hands and he started playing with his stuff. And so he's doing it. He's stroking. And he was like, if you do it like this, and he's basically talking me through how to do it. So he put some lotion in my hand and I rub mine. So we rubbing. So he's like 13, I'm like 10. And so rubbing. And so if I had already been touching it, but I never had, finished. So he gets to doing it, and he was like, you gotta do it like this. He was like, does it feel good? And I was like, yeah. I was like, I know this part. And so, over time he keep going. But as time keep going, he like, he getting a little more excited. He kind of he getting into it. And I'm like, oh, now I'm hard as a rock looking at him play with his piece. I'm seeing somebody's ding ding. So I'm super excited because it's like, ooh, we're doing some sneaky stuff. What's going on? And so his body get to jumping. like, he ain't making no noise, but he get to jumping. And I'm like, oh. And then some white stuff starts shooting out. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm like, oh, what? I that never happened to me. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, oh, that never happened to me. So now I'm getting it. Now I'm rubbing and it feels good. And I'm like, wait, I start feeling this feeling like, oh shit, it's getting kind of intense. And your first time doing it, you don't know. Like you don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know. Like this is I feel like anybody who has a penis, if you masturbate or if you have masturbated, your first time doing it, most of y'all motherfuckers probably don't even remember your first time doing it because it's been so long. So many times since. But your first time doing it, you don't really know what's going to happen. Like you feel the intensity coming. It's like, oh, when I do that, it feel good. When I put pressure there, ooh, it feel good. And then you keep going, and then your body is like, oh, it's getting intense. It's getting intense. And I know me, my legs like got it like flex out. My legs got to flex out. So I'm like, whoa, whoa. And then all of a sudden, everything down everything down there just get to boom, 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 just get to jumping. And then boom, it's shoot, 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 shoot. And so he's sitting right there. I'm sitting right there. He had already finished, but I hadn't. And he just is like, it feel good, didn't it? It feel good, didn't it? I was like, yeah. And he reached in his pocket and got some napkins and had told me, you put in a napkin, clean it up, and put it in a trash can. And we went out, we came out of the we came out of the classroom and went back into the entertainment room like nothing ever happened. And that was my nigga. Like as far as friends, we never did anything sexual or anything like that, like touching on each other, nothing like that. But for years to come, he was just cool. And he's the person who taught me how to masturbate. 13-year-old D, my girlfriend's brother. Thank you, Ashley. Is that Ashley? You the only one run that account, right? Or is it a team? It is 57 people here. Make sure y'all thumbs up, and only like 30 people have thumbs up. Okay, hey girl, what's your tea? My first time seeing a guy shoot was at church camp. Come on, church camp. He was 12 and I was 10. I had the whole group of boys sitting in the dark, shining the flashlight on his ding ding. That Jezebel spirit, baby, at church coming out in you. It was the convent it's in Dorchester. So is there multiple convents in Dorchester? There was like a fish market not far from there. I don't know if it's multiple, but it's right on. I don't know what the street is, but it's right off the train tracks. It's right by a train track station. It was his idea. Not everyone went through puberty yet, so he wanted to show us work. Do y'all feel that was predatory? Let's get into the tea. Do y'all feel that was predatory? Do you think that Um, D, was being predatory. Was he grooming me? Or was he just showing me? Remember, he's 13 and I'm 10. You can tell a story about paint drying. It would be interesting. Thank you. Was it St. Peter's Parish? I don't know. Don't give me the line. I don't know. I just know it was in Dorchester, whatever convent that's in Dorchester, unless it's multiple ones. If it's multiple ones, I can't tell you. But if it's one, it's that one. If it's been around since before the 90s, it's been years. This is like 91, 92, 93, 90, 90, like, yeah, 90, 91, not 92, because it was we was gone by then. They kicked us out. Back in the 80s, I think he was just exploring. Y'all were birth kids, but he was much older than you. 13 and 10 as kids is a big gap. 3 years is that a big gap? I'm not sure whether there was sex education in schools back then. It was not at my age. No, we didn't get. I got sex education at my school, but that was in high school, not in elementary, not at 10. I started getting sex ed classes in high school, not maybe junior high, maybe junior high. Yeah, junior high. I think so. I come from the time where in Indianapolis, our schools switched from, so elementary for us was first through, excuse me, K through 6. But when I went to 7th grade, 6th grade switched to junior high. So it was 6th grade, 7th and 8th grade in junior high. Where when I was younger, it was only 7 and 8 in junior high school. But when I went to 7th grade, 6th graders went to our junior high school. They did some switch for whatever reason. I don't know. And so it was only K through 5 once I got to 7th grade. Um, I feel like someone would see that as predatory, but it also could be chopped up as male bonding in childhood stage. But Bobby's Fish Market. It was a fish market. I don't know the name, but it was a fish market. If there's a fish market by the convent, by the train station, if that's all together, it's like a not a four-way stop. It's like a bunch of streets right there, right by the train station, and there's a fish market, and it might even be there's also what was it, a school? I don't know. I can't remember if it was school. But yeah, it was a train station, a fish market, and a convent. Not far, because we would go to the fish market and get fried catfish and shark. I had never ate shark before. Um, but yeah, in Dorchester. Um, I had sex ed in elementary at 10. I didn't know what they were talking about until 13. Oh, well, that's good that they started early. I think it's good. I think it's good for you to, so it's not any kind of confusion. I'm sure the kids lied about his age. Sidney's not that desperate. Um, does Sidney seem like a person that's not desperate? Why do you think she's not desperate? Because she definitely gives me desperate energy. Do you think she's not desperate for men because she's pretty? That's an interesting statement. Why do you think she's not desperate? And what does desperate mean? not in regards to its definition. I know what desperate means in definition, but how does desperation change your behavior when it comes to this situation? I had a teen at the end of at the end of my age. Is it criminal? No. I had a 10, I had a teen at the end of my age. I don't know what that statement means. What does that mean? I had a teen at the end of my age. What does that mean? I had a teen at the end of my I had a teen at the end of my age. What does that mean, girl? I don't know what that means. When it comes to grooming, she can groom an adult. Oh, I don't think I wouldn't think that this scenario with Sidney Starr is a grooming situation. They didn't know each other long enough for it to be a grooming situation. This is we don't know what happened. None of the stuff is has come out. But one of the things that I heard on there was a somebody said that there was a live and somebody was explaining that from what the hotel people said that she met him somewhere in the hotel like a bar like a restaurant or something, not a bar, like you know how hotels be having little lounges or whatever, and she saw him, flirted with him, they did the phone thing where they exchanged da 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 da, and they were texting back and forth. She convinced him to his I guess he was at the hotel with his parents. Now this is all hearsay. I'm not saying that this is what happened. I'm saying these are accounts that other people have shared. So this is not legit. I'm just giving you I'm just giving you the what was told from somebody else. And so hearsay. So they said that she approached him about because he was trying to holler at him, da 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 da. They exchanged um IG and they was chatting back and forth. And then she convinced him, well, not convinced, make it seem like convinced. She just like you would do a trade. Hey, come up to the room, let's play. Da 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 da. She brought to the room. And from what I'm to understand, that's she gave him some head because that's why in the now this was in the affidavit, in the not the affidavit, but in the document of her arrest, that she said to the cops that, oh, this was consensual. So something happened. So what they saying that happened is that she gave him head and then spilled her tea. And that made him say, what is going on? I'm in this situation. And he went down and told his parents. And then that led to this whole thing happening, but she didn't know the implication is that she didn't know that it was a younger boy. Now I need to see the boy because I have seen a grown ass 16-year-old. I have not seen a grown ass 13-year-old. And so I'm getting different ages. I'm getting 13, I'm getting 15, I'm getting 16. So I have seen a 16-year-old that looked grown as hell. And a 13-year-old, that's when it gets kind of witchy to me because I don't in my mind, I don't know, but I can't see myself seeing a 13-year-old and not knowing that they're young. I can't see myself seeing a 13-year-old and not being like, oh, he's 13. Like he's not necessarily specifically 13, but this looks like a child. But I have seen a 16-year-old that look grown as hell, that looks 20, beard, tall. I have seen that. I've seen that multiple times. So I would need to see the boy to know if girl. This is another thing. This is another element of the situation that I want to kind of talk about. Exactly. I haven't seen a 13-year-old boy look older. Yeah, I ain't seen no 13-year-old boy that don't look like he's young, but definitely 13-year-old girl that appears older. I haven't seen a 13-year-old girl that appears older to me. She can have a body, but Yeah, 13, that's I can tell they 13. Now 16 is something about for me when you get to that 16 that you can look grown because I think they start dressing grown more and then their body could fit that. But 13, a 13-year-old, I don't really see 13-year-olds dressing in a way that's grown to me. In a way that I can't tell that they not 13. Boys or girls for me. She topped him as well, according to charges. No. According to that's not sodomy is not just that's another thing. Sodomy is not just topping. Top is not topping. Sodomy is oral sex. Sodomy is anything that's kind of not it's like oral sex is considered sodomy. Uh, this is another thing y'all got to remember. I try to tell people. I got into it with somebody in my comments in my last video about this when I was on the show on Marsha's Plate on the podcast. Um, and I'm like, sodomy isn't just anal. Isn't it could sodomy is in certain states and certain jurisdictions, sodomy is you sucking some dick. And sodomy has a history, a long history of being weaponized against queer people. Like it's like very, very documented. And one of the cases, the case that changed it was Texas versus Lawrence. Two consenting adult gay male were having sex, consenting, privacy, not in the public, privately, and they tried to railroad them just to harass them, and it was a interracial couple. So this is in Texas. There's an interracial couple. So you being a nigger lover and you being a faggot, oh, we about to railroad y'all. So they tried to charge them with sodomy laws, and they took it to court. Um, and so um, and so they won the case, and that changed all of that in the history. Sodomy laws are sex against natural, oral, and anal. Yes. So from what I'm to understand, they never got to the point of intercourse sex. It was the oral. It was oral stuff. And she spilled her tea. I've met grown looking minors. Their energy has felt like a kid. Their energy definitely feels like a kid, for sure. Yeah. Um, um, where was I going with the conversation? Yes, but this is the thing. I was talking to my homegirl yesterday about it too. And this is the thing. As the adult, you are the mature adult. It don't matter if the minor is willing, consensual, ready and willing, hot in the ass, ready to do it, da 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 da. You are the adult. You are the mature adult, and you're not some 18-year-old, 20-year-old adult. You a fucking 37-year-old adult. Bitch, you regardless, you should know better. And as a 37-year-old adult, you should know how hot it is out in these streets for trans people. And if you get caught up in some bullshit, they gonna throw the book at you. Also, as a ex-sex worker, I know this to be true. I have had young boys call my ad and try to set an appointment with me with their little McDonald's money. And when they came, it was like, oh no, because I'm an adult and I think this is a setup. I'm paranoid anyway about motherfucking cops and shit. And so you look too young for me, baby. You going home. Like, baby, I'm not opening my door because I'm going to think that this is some cop shit. I'm going to think you trying to set some bullshit up. And if you look young, baby, I'm feeling like, girl, y'all trying to send me to prison. Sidney is classic Arrested Development. I don't want to infantilize her in that way. Even then, child, sometimes these little niggas be having beards at 16. Oh, so I'll give y'all a perfect example. So y'all remember the boy that that I used to bring on my channel? I think I got a video of us at Denny's. I did a video about his mom seeing that I went to Hogwarts School of Wizardry, and she told him that I was a witch. Do y'all remember that video of mine? She'd call herself being nosy and seeing that my page said that I went to the Hogwarts School of Wizardry and Wizardry. Because she didn't know the Harry Potter reference, she thought that I was a witch for real. And so she went and told him, "You know what a witch is, son?" Now, this is also after she went and been nosy on my MySpace page and found out that I was trans. But once she realized that he wasn't going to stop fucking with me, she tried to find other reasons, which didn't work. Because, baby, once I start fucking with a nigga, it ain't nothing you can do, mama. You ain't doing what I'm doing to him. Go have a seat. Relax. I got it from here. So, hey, Gigi. Hey, CL. In my opinion, he had to have at least look questionable. Sidney is classic arrested development. I'm still in the sex work game, and anyone that arrives at my door that looks too young, I turn them around. Amen. That, I'll tell y'all 2 incidents with me with young boys. So anyway, the boy that I was talking about with the mama being nosy. So me and him the same age. So we worked at the airport together. Y'all remember when I worked at the airport? So we worked at the airport together. So he got a deep ass voice. He tall. He like 6'5". So this is my fire and desire. We used to have a good time. So anytime I need to go pick up my check, this is before they did the direct deposit shit. You had to go pick up your check. He would pick me up and take me with him. We're going to pick up our check together. He would pick me up and take me with him to go pick up our checks. But remember, this is a dude who is not ready to be in a relationship with me. I really wouldn't call it DL because his mama knew my tea, his friends knew my tea. It wasn't a I don't feel like it was a DL situation, but he wasn't ready to be in a relationship with me. And so anytime somebody would ask him about me, like ask him about what our situation was, he would say, "Oh, that's just my friend." Now, mind you, we doing all the stuff that lovers do. We hanging out, going to dates, and da da da. So we're the same age. So for me, it started to be annoying to me. Like it started to be kind of like a side eye. Like, are we just friends? Like I feel like you're trying to play me. And so I don't know what that is. Is that still playing DL? They knew. Is that DL? I don't know if He lying about it, but not lying about us. He's lying about the nature of the relationship. Is that still DL? What y'all think? He's not lying about us being together. We're still going out doing stuff publicly. His people know that we're doing it, but he's lying about the nature. Is that still? I think that's still kind of DL. He's lying about the sexual nature of the relationship. So, anyway, it got to a point where that shit started to hurt my feelings. I feel like that fell more under the didn't want to commit period. Yes, that's DL. I feel both of y'all are correct. So it started to hurt my feelings. It started to hurt my feelings to me. But I'm a motherfucking G, so I don't let niggas know that it's hurting my feelings. But I move differently. I move differently. If you plan, oh, we just friends. Okay, well, there's certain things that me as friends, I motherfucking do with my friends. And so what started to happen was, honey, your other homeboys, they're not off limits no more. If we just friends, I can fuck your friends. If I meet your brother and he fine, I can fuck your brother because we just friends. Right? Because we just friends. It don't ain't no exclusivity with friends. You my friend. I ain't gotta be, exclusive to you. So that's exactly what happened, which is why we not cool to this day. So when I met him, excuse me, he had 3 homeboys that he was cool with. He was like, if you ranked them from fine to whack, he was the tallest, but I feel like he was like the number 3. Like not number 3, he was like the number 2. So there was one, his name is Jason, him, and then Dirt. Dirt was like he was the one that wasn't fine. He's havable, but he ain't fine like these two. So the fine one was Jason. Jason was like, if I met them all together, I only met him because I worked with him. But how I met them, he brought them to my house. So, I'm this is my earliest days of Houston. Now, if you know me in my early days of Houston, baby, I was a dime piece, honey. I was slim and fine. I'm tipping around looking like Lisa Ray, honey. I'm wearing it out. So when he bring them to my house, he like, damn, how you meet her? Like the 2 boys is like, damn, how you meet her? So they living for me. And so I'm seeing both of them and I'm like, oh, I didn't get the fine one, but I didn't get the ugly one either. You know what I'm saying? They best friends. So I got the middle. I got the middle ground. That's when we became Facebook friends. Work. Thank you. So I wasn't really disappointed. Plus, I had the taller one, and I already had messed around with him. And he got a big old dick. So I'm like, out of 3 niggas, it's gonna be one that got a big old dick, and I think I got the one that got the biggest one. So the number 2 and the biggest me. Okay, cool. This straight. I picked the right one. But that don't stop the other niggas from trying me. And they started following me on Facebook, just different, following me on, hit me up on different stuff. Wherever they would see me, they would hit me up. So, and every profile that I had wouldn't tell my tea. So I had my tea on MySpace. I had my tea on, I think that probably was the only one that I had my tea on. So anyway, if they found me on MySpace, they could find out my tea. And Dirk, the ugly one, is the one who found out my tea through MySpace. Same way his mama did. But Jason, the super fine one, he added me on Facebook, and Facebook don't got my tea, so he just added me from there. And so if the boy that I was fucking with, if he would tag me and stuff, Jason would be under the comments saying some cute little stuff like, All right, I see you done got, I see you still something along the line like, you done got you a dime. You better not let it go. You better stuff like that. Like he'll say little cute little complimentary stuff. And so, um, anyway, because I'll tell you about that later. But we going back to the young boy. So one time we're going to the airport to pick up our checks, and he comes in his car and picks me up, and he has this boy in the car. So the boy, so when he pull up, the boy gets out of the car and gets in the back so I can sit in the front. And when I see him, I'm like, damn, he fine. He is gorgeous, like modelistic level gorgeous. I'm like, he got a little, not a goatee, but a little beard, and his hair is red, just naturally, just like this. His hair is red. He light skinned. He tall. Well, not tall. He kind of like medium. He got these pretty ass pink ass lip, and I don't really go after anybody know me know I like chocolate boys. So if you light skin and I say you gorgeous, it's like exceptionally gorgeous. Cause like for example, I don't find like Aaron Pierre. Do I know he's a beautiful man? Yes, but I wouldn't be lusting after Aaron Pierre. Like he's gorgeous, but that's just not that pretty ass boy type ain't really, that don't get me lusting. That'd be like, oh, he's cute. So if I say he fine, he got to be, and he light skinned, he got to be 10 level or higher. He got to, it's something about him that's exceptional. And so what made this boy exceptional is just his facial structure. He had pretty ass shaped pink lips, and his hair was red, and he just looked like a unique human being, like just his genetics made him look very absolutely unique. And so yeah, so I just thought he was gorgeous. And so he sits in the back, I sit in the front, and I'm looking in the mirror view like, God, this nigga fine, blah, 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 blah. What about Michael Ealy? Same thing with Aaron Pierre. I don't find Michael Ealy to be, I can, it's like seeing a pretty car. Like the car, I know the car is beautiful, but I don't want to fuck the car. It don't make me want to fuck it. It was Detroit Red. I don't know who that is. He doesn't look, I can't even, he's so unique in how he looks that I can't even, I can't compare him to somebody. Like he doesn't have a look that I've ever seen before. Like in regards to people, he is the one of the most unique looking people. Detroit Red is Malcolm X. Oh yeah, that was his old name. He's one of the most unique looking people that I've ever seen in my life. Even to this day, like I think about how unique he looks. It was kind of wild. I had to be chocolate to get my gears going, but I have made a few exceptions. Yeah, if you just have to be exceptional. You have to be exceptional, usually. Exceptional where in some kind of incidents. Anyway, so he in the back, and I look at him, and he's talking to the dude I talked to. And remember, he done already played all kind of weird ass games. But we still cool. He taking me to get my check, da da da. So do we know if Sidney is in the mail? Probably male, since she doesn't have a sex change. And she's probably in isolation. Went to, so we get up there, and the boy, let's call him D start like flirting with me from the back seat. He started flirting. He was like, how long you been knowing him? And da 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 da. And this is after he asked my sneaky link, well, not sneaky link, whatever we got going on. Cordell, let's call him Cordell. Cordell, he asking him what's our situation. And he tells, come on, elevated Miss Frizzle. That's my favorite. I tell, and he tells him like he tells everybody else, oh, that's just my friend. We just friends. We just cool. So once he say that, the boy get to talking like flirty, like, oh, well, that's not your girl. Shit, I'm trying to shoot my shot. I'm laughing and giggling and, da 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 da. And he says, I say, why are you? I was like, boy, what's the? I'm talking to him and blah 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 blah. And I'm thinking he's older because he looks young, but he doesn't look like a teenager. He looks like he might be like 21, 22, da da da. And so I think I'm like 28 at this time. And so I'm like, boy, I'm flirting back, but just kind of just lightly, because I'm trying to not be respectful, but remember I said this little game that old boy is playing with the We Just Friends had started to hurt my feelings. I didn't verbalize it because I'm a G and sometimes, I want to hide my feelings when it comes to trade. And so him playing the We Just Friends infuriated me, but you do it to this fine boy who is now flirting with me. Okay, cool. We just friends. So now I'm flirting back because you done said we friends. Cool. Now I'm going to flirt back. Whereas if he hadn't have set it up like that, you feel what I'm saying? My feelings wouldn't have been hurt and I wouldn't have been in that kind of vindictive mode and I would have been trying to play good girl. But because you played the We Just Friends role, okay, cool. So now I'm flirting back. So I flirted back with him and I'm laughing. I'm like, how old are you? I was like, how old are you? And he said 16. And I was like, oh, you a baby. No. So it changes the tone of the conversation. But of course, he young. So he was like, he's giving the whole age ain't nothing but a number. He's giving all this kind of stuff. I was like, boy, get out of here. Once I play him to the left in that regards, then he turns into just being like a funny person. He starts, instead of flirting, he started to be, like kind of normal, like kind of not normal, but like funny, like a jokester. And so we walking through the airport, he's making jokes and he's still complimenting me, but not as aggressively flirting, just kind of complimenting me. And so he did not look 16. He looked like he was like 21, or he looked like 20, like 2021, whatever. He just looked like he didn't look like a child. He looked like a grown man. And so fast forward, this is the end of the story. Fast forward to maybe like when I was 35. So this is many years later. Me and old boy are still messing with each other, and he's still playing the friend card, which is okay because now it's been so long that I'm not even I done been in relationships. We just cool now. So I just deal with him when I, need some money, when I need to ride somewhere, when I need somebody to pick me up from the airport, when I want to go to the movies, all this kind of stuff. And so fast forward to so we still dealing with each other. Me and him is driving around, and I guess the boy, the 16-year-old, is now in his mid 20s. So this is probably like 7 or 8 years, because I was 28 when we met, and we are 30. I was like 35. So how many years is that? That's like 7 years. So this is like 7 years later. So 16 plus 7 is 25. No, not 25. 23. Y'all do the math. I'm not good at math. So 7 years past 16. So he was grown at this point. He's in his 20s, his early 20s. And so me and him 23. So me and him is driving, and he calls him because this is his cousin. So he calls him And we are in the car together and we talking. And I hear him say, "Oh, who was you in the car with?" And Cordell says, "Oh, you met her. You met her back when we worked at the airport. You remember Diamond?" He was like, "Oh shit, put Diamond on phone, put Diamond on phone, put Diamond on the phone." And so he hands me the phone. So I pick up, I answer the phone. He was like, "Hey, Miss Diamond, I'm grown now. I'm grown now. What's up? What's up? What's up?" I was like, "Who is this?" And he was like, "You remember I was a light-skinned nigga that you met at the airport when da 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 da. I'm Cordell's cousin." And I was like, "Oh, the one with the red hair." He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" And he was like, "Don't how you doing? I'm trying to see what's up with your fine ass. I'm trying to see what's up with your fine ass. What's up? Give me your number. Give me your number." I was like, "All right." I gave him my number because remember, we just friends. Remember, we just friends, baby. So it don't matter. And he get to awkwardly laughing. Gave him my number super quick. By the end of the week, pennies was dropped, nuts was busted. No tea was spilled. No tea was spilled though. So, but pennies was dropped and nuts was busted. So he ended up getting my tea from the grandmother. So remember, the mama knows my tea. This is 7 years later. This is years later. So the mama know my tea. The mama know me. The mama know he not gonna stop dealing with me. So I guess from what I'm to understand, I guess they were at a family function because they're cousins. So this is the son of, I don't know. They got his mama is his grandma. So this is his cousin or his uncle? No, they're cousins. So what that making? This must be his mama's sister's child. Yeah, so this must be his mama's sister child because they cousins. So I guess they were at a family function and I come up in conversation. I come up in the conversation and mama starts spilling my tea. But if anybody who been a subscriber for a long time, I told y'all this story about him where he had brought me to his mama's birthday party. And she was telling everybody that we was just friends because she knew my tea and she didn't want to say that we was more than friends. But while we're sitting at her party, he got his arm around my waist. He kissing me on my neck. He buying all my drinks. He treated me like a woman, honey. I like you, honey, like he's supposed to be treating. So all his family was like, "Girl, you tripping. That's not just his friend." And so the T, she get to telling T saying they just friends, they not because she not even a woman. And it's all this kind of stuff. And so it gags the whole family. Now, mind you, this was early on. So by this time, I guess he had never heard about me because it's not like I'm his girlfriend and I come around all the time. But by this time, I stopped coming around the family, but we were still dealing with each other. This is like 7 years later. And I guess Diane brings my name up in front of the mom. And that's when she spills the tea about me. So that's when he sent me a message saying, "Oh, why you didn't tell me that you were trans?" And I said, "Oh, I thought you already knew. I thought your cousin already told you." That's not true. But I was in a situation where honey, I was very military about it. Don't ask, don't tell, honey. You didn't ask, I didn't tell. You didn't ask me whether I was or not. So, girl, the goal was to have, and that's what we did. You got your nut, I got my. We good. And so, in that moment, he was like, I was like, you never asked me. I thought that, honey, I thought you've been knowing for years. I thought Cordell told you. That's why I thought you were so thirsty. He was like, nah, my auntie told me. And he was like, I don't even know. And I was like, oh no. He was like, how did you do? You know, because honey, the dark arts of the dream. He didn't understand how I did the things that I did to him without him knowing the things that he should have known. Because I worked my set, honey. I did my magic. And so he was like, nah. I was like, yeah. He was like, oh man. So it was a whole little situation. I end up having Jason. Too, because Jason, who found out my tea through dirt. Once Jason found out my tea, he turned into super thirsty. But he too had a nice piece too. Not as big as Cordell's, but he had a big deal. And so I ended up having him. And so because I had the cousin and had his little best friend, he started getting mad. But baby, we as friends. We as friends, honey. Remember? We just friends. Why you mad? Nah, that's just shady. Is it? You were emphasizing that we were just friends. Why would I not mess with your fine homeboy if we're just friends? Now, if I was a girl or we was in something deeper than that, then it would make sense. But you have emphasized on me for many, many years that I'm just your friend. So I can fuck my friends' friends. Especially the fine ones. So why are we here? They felt ownership in such a weird way. Isn't that crazy? You out here being free and I can't be free? Get out of here. Anyway, back to the subject. So that happened. And he was 16. I was like, oh, he could have caught me up because I thought he was older. There was an incident where a client had called me and tried to. That's the story that I was gonna go to. A client had called me, and he came to my hotel. And when I looked out the peephole, he looked like a teenager. And I wouldn't let him in the room because he looked like a teenager from even out the peephole. So either, and my mindset was either like y'all trying to rob me and you got some niggas around the corner, or it all this is now, mind you, I give y'all context too. My gay mom almost got murdered because she got set up by a young nigga. So he was of age, but he was young. He was like 18, 19. And she was like 20, 23. Like she was like in her 20s and he's like 18, 19. And they had messed around. And they had a good little situation going on. And because she had like a nice apartment, she had nice furniture, she had nice shit, that 18-year-old, after hooking up with her multiple times, he got high, and him and his cousins came in, tied her up, and robbed her and cut her up real bad and left her for dead in the middle of her apartment after stealing all her stuff out of her apartment. So that's context of I have with a young boy situation where when he came to the door, I'm like, oh, is he trying to set me up? Like pretending to be older, and then he gonna try to, once I open up the door, he gonna try to let some niggas come in and bum rush me. No, no. First of all, you look too young. No, that's number one. But I feel like, why are you here? Why are you trying to set me up? What's happening? Then is it the police? Like, is the police trying to set me up? Like my radar, because I'm a sex worker, my radar was a sex worker. My radar just is up. And so I'm like, this don't, nah, you look young. And so, host stroll games, right? And I was like, nah, you look young. So he's texting me. Once I say nah, he was like, you had me drive all the way over here and you're not gonna let me in. No, something is not right. You look young. You look like either you trying to set me up or you are just literally too young to be a client of mine. This feels weird. I'm old enough. And I was like, send me a copy of your ID. Send me, but he wouldn't do it. So I'm like, so I'm discreet. I'm discreet. I'm not about to send you my personal information. Okay, well then stay the fuck on. Stop texting me. So I end up having to block him. But that was a scenario that I had been in where the young boy tried to come see me in regards to my sex work. And he's seeing my ad. Did you end up hooking up with him when it was older? Yes, I ended up hooking up with him when he was 23. I met him when he was 16 and ended up hooking up with him when he was 23. I didn't find that to be weird at all. But I don't care if you do. If you think it's weird, that's okay. I feel like if I knew him as a child and we grew up together and I just seen him grow, it would have been weird to me. But being that I didn't grow up with him, I met him that one time and then I reconnected with him at 23. I don't think that was weird at all. Was his dick pink? Yes. Unfortunately. But it was nice. It wasn't huge. It was very average. But it was nice. A nice average. Not weird. Once they catch a whiff, they don't stop till they experience it. Um yes, I feel like if I was like if I saw you grow up and I was like, for example, my little brother's friends, like my little brother, he has best friends that he's been best friends since they were teenagers that I grew up around. So when I look at them, eh, they like my little brothers. Like that, I've seen them grow up, so I don't look at them. And even though they're grown men now in their 30s, I can look at them and see them as attractive men, but I would never try to holler at them because I've seen you grow up since you were a legit, like a young jit. Like I can see that. Like I see, like when I look at them, I'm like, oh my god, you really have grown into a handsome man. But it's not like, ooh, I'm not kin to them at all, so I could technically mess around with them, but I don't look at them like that. Like because I think of them as my little brothers. They remind me, like we went to my brother's graduation together. They lived in my house. Some of them lived in my house for a little bit when they would get kicked out of their parents' house, they would come to my mama house and we would be playing spades or playing like it just they like my little brother. So I think it's different if I grow up around you, but somebody that I just met you when you was young and then don't be around you no more. And then I meet you when you 26, 23, 22. I don't think that's weird at all. There's a huge difference in meeting someone as a child and a teenager, in my opinion, except if they are no personal relationship is involved. Yeah. Yeah, I don't find it to I think it would be weird to me. I've never messed with somebody who I saw grow up as a child and because my brain don't think about sex. I think about them as a child. Like I'm thinking like anybody who I know like that I've known from a kid that I'm not in relationship with, like in like blood relation to. I think of when I see them, my brain is like, oh my God, you're really growing up. It's never, oh my God, you grow up and are you ready? Like I've never had that situation. Not somebody who I have consistently seen. Thank you, Amberstone. So, oh, I know what I wanted to get back to. So somebody said Sidney was desperate, and I'm like, what from what that story that I told you, what I heard that happened, her meeting him, not knowing his age, and then asking for his number, exchanging numbers, and then taking him upstairs and sucking his dick. That's what is being told in relation to the hotel staff and da 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 da. So that scenario, it would be hypocritical for me to act holier than thou, like I ain't sucked no dick in the back of an alley, and acting like I ain't hooked up with some random ass nigga just because they was hot. And honey, I'm a hoe. I'm gonna always be a hoe. I done did some hoe shit, and I done did some random hoe shit. And so it would be hypocritical for me to judge her for those type of actions, because now this is the risk you take when you ain't asking for ID, you ain't asking the whole situation. You don't know this is what's going on, and you are the adult. So regardless of if you knew or you didn't know, you are going to deal with the consequences because you are the adult. You're supposed to be responsible enough to have conversation on how old are you? What's it? Blah, 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 blah. You are the adult, not the teenager. You are the adult. So whatever consequences come to you, even if you didn't know. Now, I think that not knowing changed to me. I don't care about what somebody else thinks. To me, her not knowing changes the context. I wouldn't consider her a predator. If she doesn't know and she just being out here being a hoe, I just be like, girl, you was out here hoeing and you got caught up. You did some hoe ass shit and not asking the right questions and got caught up. I feel like the predator label is when you know and you still go. That's when it's the predator to me. That's when it's wrong and and predatory. So that doesn't mean you don't get consequences though. I still feel like regardless if you know or you don't know, if you get caught up, bitch, this is just the consequences, girl. Because the intention for the law is to protect the children, not to protect you, to make sure motherfuckers ain't out here being weird about kids. If you're just now joining us, make sure you thumbs up. It is like 83 people in here. Why y'all not thumbsing up? And only 58 people done thumbs up. So, good night, Kush. It's 9. You're going to sleep early. Night, night. So, I also want to talk about the privilege of individualism, because I feel like only white people got the privilege of individualism. In these conversations that I have listened to about Sidney, and it's not just for straight people that's been saying it. I've been seeing trans people and queer people saying shit. Listen, Sidney does not represent me. She never have. When Sidney was on, when Sidney was doing what she was doing with Chingy, when Sidney was on The Breakfast Club, when Sidney was on Zeus, when Sidney was doing whatever she was doing, none of that bullshit represented me. I still was Diamond Stylz. I still was intelligent. I still wasn't out here lying on niggas. I still none of does it does it isn't an example of a trans woman out here moving weird? Absolutely. It is. Do I know and I'm smart enough to know that it's going to reflect on us as a community? Yes, but it is only going to reflect on us as a community to motherfuckers who want it to be a negative stereotype of us. At the end of the motherfucking day, statistically, trans people are one of the least likely groups to be pedophiles. Least likely groups when it comes to case by case scenario. So even if you got one acting fucking weird and getting caught up in some weird shit, statistically, we ain't out here molesting kids. So, but if you were in everybody else, they get a motherfucking when it comes everybody else other than white fucking men, we gotta worry about, or sometimes white women, we gotta worry about what the next bitch is doing. That's why I got an issue with Funky Dineva. What did Funky Dineva have to say? I haven't even seen what she had to say, because I find her to be transphobic and misogynistic. So I know that she just was going to eat this up. But I knew that once I heard the case and the news broke, I was like, oh, they about to eat this up. Especially if like DL Whisperer, that it's all of us. It's our issue. Yeah, that's not an our issue thing. And if we're talking about inner community stuff, we can't have a conversation about y'all molesting y'all ball house kids, the older predatory gay men. I grew up around them. I told y'all about that a couple of months ago, where I had a dude named Bosco running around convincing the poor trade to let him give them some head for some Jordans. So you need to sweep at your front door before you try to make it branded on all of us. He made it seem like we're just so boy crazy for validation for men. Do I think that applies to Sidney? Yes. Have I had my moments in my younger years? Definitely not in my 30s and 40s, but in my 20 years where I'm just out here having fun. Sure. What did you get, Dante? What was your impression of what was said? I don't take responsibility for Sidney whatsoever. Yes, I have I also just a gay man. A gay man of all people should understand that we are not a monolith and we are susceptible to those type of labels. A gay man of all people. They used to run commercials in the 50s about gay men, which at the time they called homophiles, not homosexuals. They called them homophiles. They used to run commercials about them trying to molest your kids on TV. That's how bad it was in the 50s. And that sentiment, we see what people are saying now. So of all people, gay men should know the difference between one incident and the toxicity of blanking that over a whole community. I think that that's crazy for a gay man to do. It's hypocritical and weird. How many times have we seen a lot of these gay men throw us under the bus and over the bus to cater to cisgender women? Actually, Giselle, you're right. I just rewatched it. Oh, so you agree with her? That sounds more on brand for him. So, I just think it's a gag to me. I think it's a gag that a gay man would do that. But I don't want to talk about gay men in that sense. We know that some of them are. Oh, okay. Yeah, we know that some of them are just as transphobic and misogynistic as straight people. We know that. We've heard it, we've seen it, we know that. So, but it just feels like hypocritical or ironic that a gay man would. Funky said that the masses will use what she did against black trans women and it feeds into the narrative of us. He didn't say anything wrong this time. Mm, yeah, I think it is only going to feed into the narrative of us if you want it to feed into the narrative of us. And anybody who wants it to feed into the narrative that we all are pedophiles, it is because they already believe that. They already are on that shit. Do you see what I'm saying? It's you don't change somebody. This is a situation that's not going to change somebody's mind. They were already on that shit. They were already on that. Do you see what I'm saying? Like it's not a person who actually are in community with trans people, in community with queer people that fuck with queer people. They're not gonna take this one incident and brand it over all of us unless they want it and they already on it. So you don't just, ooh, this is sitting us back 20 years. With who? People who already got the mindset of a motherfucker back 20 years? Yeah. That's not, they don't, these incidents, and that goes back to the privilege of individualism. These motherfuckers shooting up schools, they not thinking all of them motherfuckers is crazy and shooting up schools. Most of the serial killers are white men. Are we considering them all serial killers? Potentially. But they get the benefit of individualism. Oh, that's them. Most motherfuckers out here raping and molesting is cis het straight niggas. Or who identify as cis het straight niggas. But the first thing they say, it's not all men. It's not all of us. You can't say it's all of us. Fuck out of here. So, is this something that I know somebody can use? Absolutely. I'm not naive in that way, but only people who would use it is Fox News. Only people who would use it to brand us all is a Fox News site who already been doing that. They was making up lies before an incident like this was happening. Anybody who would think that it's true, they were already, that is true for all of us. They were already in the situation. It's funny. Me and my aunt, she was talking about, she told me an incident. It's so hilarious. Not hilarious. That's not the right word. Um, Interesting. It's so interesting how there are conversations that happens about you that you will never be privy to. And so one of them incidents was my aunt. So when I was younger, like 18, y'all know I transitioned young. So, 18, I done been in the game 5 years at this point. So I have recently moved to Mississippi, and my aunt Georgia, she had recently had a young boy, like a baby boy, and she had already had a child, but years later, like her first child is like my age. But she didn't have another child until 20 years later, almost 20 years later, like 18 years later. Anyway, between her last children and her first child, there's a big space because she had him when she was 16. Um, and so when I moved to Mississippi, she lives in Mississippi too, and she had lost her mom, and so there was nobody to help her. She was getting into it with my parents, my mom, and her sister, my grandmother, and because she's actually my mother's aunt, but she's the last child of my great grandfather, so she's the same age as my mother. So my sister, she's actually my grandmother's sister. Like they're sisters, not my mom. But because they're the same age, my mom and her, because she's the youngest child that my great grandfather had, they kind of grew up together in the sense of not grew up together, but they grew up as in the same generation, if that makes sense. Anyway, so when we come there, I'm the trans woman in Walnut Grove, Mississippi. So that's a whole scandal in itself. But I'm the only one willing to kind of help her with her kids. Like, I can go to her house and babysit for her and you get what I'm saying? All this kind of stuff. So my uncles, her brothers and shit, would have a conversation with her about, do you feel your kids is safe with that man dressed like a woman? And now, mind you, she's telling me this conversation decades later, not when it was happening, decades later. So, and my aunt told me, and she was like, yeah, people used to say that about me having you babysit my kids. And I would have to check them because I feel, she said multiple times, I feel safer I feel safer with Diamond around my kids than I actually feel safe with them around you. Actually, because I remember when I was little and you used to touch on me as my brother. So if we're gonna keep it real, since you want to have these kind of conversation, let's have this conversation. Gagged him. I feel safer with her around my kids around me than my kids around you. And you're their uncle. You're my brother. But because of how you moved when we were little, I don't feel them safe being around you. Gagged. Now, mind you, this nigga, I don't even know this nigga. This nigga has never met me in person because he didn't live in the area at the time. So right, this nigga has never met me in person. This nigga has never had a conversation with me. We're connected as far as our family, but I grew up in the north, in the Midwest. They grew up in the South, and by the time I come to the South, he's grown and doesn't live there because he's older than her. He grown and doesn't. He's in his 40s, 50s, and so he done moved to Dallas. So I never have in my whole life. I've never met this man. And so the fact that he is asking my aunt and implying that her kids are unsafe around me, it's not rooted in anything but transphobia or homophobia, wherever he got these ideas. And he's asking her if she's comfortable with me taking care of her children. And the beauty of it is that, she had the gall to check him in that way. But I remember that era. And it was so strange because I'm always like, then why weren't y'all helping her with her kids? If y'all were so concerned about me and me being an influence on the kids, why weren't y'all helping her? Like, she was out here by herself. She had a raggedy ass husband that wasn't helping her with the kids, that was running around the country cheating on her. And she needed help with the kids. And I was the only one. But y'all were close enough to know what she had going on and worried about me. Why weren't y'all close enough to help her with the children? Does that make sense to y'all, audience? Like, does that make sense? Like, if you it feels like you just being messy for no reason. Because if you were really concerned about the kids, wouldn't you be helping her with the kids, to help her find some daycare, to help to babysit the kids? Or do you see what I'm saying? Like, if you was really concerned about the kids, but you're not, you just want to be messy. You just being messy. That's what it felt like to me. I'm still gagged that it never registered to me that your Aunt Georgia was your grandmother's sister. Yes. Yeah, my Aunt Georgia is. So my great grandfather had two sets of girls by two cousins, two first cousins. So his older girls, my grandmother and my Aunt Roz, I told you about them, were had by my grandmother, which is Willie Mae, aka Earlene. Um, and then when she left him because he was a drunkard, and she moved to Indianapolis from Mississippi, from Jackson, from Walnut Grove. When she took her two girls got a divorce from him and moved to Indianapolis, he stayed in the small town that they were from and married one of her first cousins. He married her first cousin and then had another two girls years later. And so they had four. She had four girls. Yeah, he had four girls. He didn't have any boys. He had four girls. And so the youngest girl was born 3 years after my mother. So my mother was actually older than her. So she was older than her aunt. She was 3 years younger than my mother. Which makes me and her, because my mama had me young, makes me and Georgia not far from each other's age. I'm in my mid 40s and she's in her late 50s. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, Keystar. So it just was a situation where people that's a part, that narrative about us being, and when I say us, I'm talking about queer people. I know the trans and the gay men more so, but definitely trans because most people who don't acknowledge transness consider us gay men too, souped up gay men. Um, I know we get the the heavier stick, but I feel like it happens with lesbians too. So it makes me feel better about my family dynamic. It's so common. What is your family dynamic? What do you mean? What's the connection? I actually don't think that that's weird. Actually, I don't think that that's weird. He's not kin to any of them. He messed around with this girl and then messed around with her cousin. I don't think that that's super it might be abnormal, but I don't think it's weird on his part. It wasn't like they cheat. Like it wasn't like he cheated on her with her cousin. It was they weren't together no more at all for years, and then he met another girl that just so happened to be her cousin. Yeah, Walnut Grove is really small. You gon' It's gonna be some crossing the bloodlines because it's so small. My great grandmother has a child by his wife's sister. Now, I think that that's kind of I think that's way more rare than cousins. To messing with two, having babies by two sisters feels a little bit more. You was trying it, as opposed to two cousins. They grew up in their sisters like that grew up in the same household. That's kind of wild. Oh, there's no problem. That's kind of it's like, oh, he was being shady. But yeah. But it does make it when we go back in like in my family tree, we do have all of us have a common grandfather, Daddy Theo. I showed y'all when I showed y'all my ancestry picture, that was my daddy Theo. That's all of our common grandfather. Great grandfather. Yes, great grandfather. Daddy Theo. So I think that's something that I don't think that that's going to ever end. I think it's going to be something that we battle against. But why I titled this video, I think I titled it what? It's not Sidney ain't the only one. Is because I feel like there's a lot of stuff we don't talk about. I think that we need to talk about. I think because of that branding and that kind of label, I don't think we address our community pedophiles and our community predators the way we should address them across the all the LGBT spectrum. I think these house members who pick these gay people up off the street and get to um forcing them into sex work to help them pay bills, I think that that's predatory and trafficking that we don't talk about, and I've seen that where a girl you give a girl a place to stay, but you taking all her client money, you basically gorilla pimping her. I've seen that. That feels like trafficking of young people. Um, Definitely know a lot of house fathers and mothers and da 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 that be having their sons and shit that are not of age. Um, what else? What else? What else? What else? Yeah, I think that that is really common. I think it's something that we don't address because of that label and the label and because we know that it's going to be branded on all of us. And we don't address it like we need to. There's a girl, this don't got nothing to do with underage, but there's a girl who it's common knowledge that she's really inappropriate with trans men, but she just kind of still be tipping around. Nobody ever charged her with anything. I think I told y'all about this, but she has been inappropriate, not like rapey, but inappropriate, crossing boundaries, weirdo shit. And nobody has ever kind of like addressed it. She's gotten fired, but nobody has ever like addressed it. Unless she gets down. There was a girl who kind of called it out one time, but it wasn't to call it out because it is what it is. It was because they had got into it about a nigga. And so, ooh, now I want to call it out. It'll be moments like that, but yeah. But he kind of did have kids with her, and she just so happened to be the first cousin. That's teeter on the line a bit for me. Mm, yeah, I can see a teeter on the line, but I can. It was normal because they were in different generations. Her cousin was a younger cousin. My grandmother moved away from the town that they lived in, and so and my grandfather is not blood related to any of them, so he wouldn't know. I could see him building a relationship with Billy and Billy Ruth, um, without being abreast to who's connected to who. Because there's a lot of people that's connected to a lot of people, and his people was from Sebastopol, so he's coming in, and this is a connected small towns, so I could see him, being unaware that he's connecting with another cousin. Do you see what I'm saying? As opposed to a sister who live in the same house with your other sister, as opposed to that. These are disconnected cousins. Connected by blood, but not connected by where they. Child, don't even talk to me about the Mississippi small towns. Yeah, all of us were the towns that everybody was connected was that I knew people from. Lena, Forest, Walnut Grove, Carthage, Kosciuszko, Sebastopol, Philadelphia, Canton, Morton, all of that kind of central Mississippi, Leake County, Neshoba County. There's some good dick in Mount Olive. Ooh, some of the best dick of my life was in Mount Olive. I would, honey, ride in my mama's car with no gas trying to get to that dick in Mount Olive. Ooh. Flashbacks. Baby. Beat my cakes in the trailer, baby. In the trailer. Because Mount Olive was like 45 minutes south of Jackson. Was it 55? I don't know if it was 55 or 40. I don't know what it was. But it was like 45 minutes away from Jackson. And baby, I would take that little road. I would take the road, take my mom little, like she had like a green Cutlass, baby. I would ride that Cutlass, and the Cutlass, you couldn't tell what the gas was on. That's the gag. The gas thing was broke, so it only showed full or empty. So when you get it full, it'll drop down to empty, even though it's not empty. So you kind of guessing how much gas you got. So you always try to keep it full. How close is Horn Beach to where you were, the place where Nolan Wells was? Oh, I don't know where Horn Beach. It's called Horn Beach. I don't know. Let me look. Horn Beach, Mississippi.
Horn Island is a remote barrier island, about 8 to 10 miles off the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
Oh,
It's
that was in
only
the
accessible
coast.
by private boat.
Oh, that was like off the coast, like by Biloxi and shit. Yeah, I lived on the coast for a little bit in 2001 with my aunt Georgia. We lived in Ocean Springs and Pascagoula. Let me see. Ocean Springs and Pascagoula. That's not far from that, but it's far from what the places that I'm talking about. Yeah, so yeah, we lived right. All of this is in the so we lived in Ocean Springs and Pascagoula. So Horn Horn Beach is an island off the coast, but it's in the middle of both of those towns. So I used to live in that area right there. So this is Ocean Springs, and this is Pascagoula, and this is Horn Beach. But that's on the coast of Mississippi. Where I'm talking about is here. That's in North Middle. So this is where my family is. We got a mountain called Collier Mountain in this little town. So Walnut Grove is where we from. Forest, Sebastopol, um, Carthage, Lena, all these little towns right here. It's in the middle of Mississippi, which is like northeast of Jackson. Um, yeah, close to Philadelphia is all right there. There go Philadelphia right there. Carthage, Walnut Grove is right here. Forest is right there. Y'all remember that story I told y'all about the chicken coop when I was working at the hatchery? That's Union. That's where the chicken that the chicken houses was at where I had to quit because they got us catching the roosters. I was okay with the chickens, but once we got to the roosters, they got to twirling. And I was out. Union was that. That's where the chicken houses were. That Newton and is there a Puckett? A Puckett, I think. Union, Newton, and where is Puckett? There's another one called Puckett. I don't know where that's at, but yeah, it was one called Puckett. You ever been there? I done been everywhere in Mississippi: Hattiesburg, Macomb, Greenville, Chula, um, anywhere in Greenwood, anywhere in the like Delta. I done been every Natchez. Sebastopol is Sebastopol. Meridian. We used to live in Hickory. Um, Pelahatchie. I done been every part of Mississippi. I done lived in every part of Mississippi. Ever been to Okolona? No, I ain't been, not that part. Where is that at? Then I can tell you if I've been somewhere close to that. Okolona. That sounds real small. Okolona, Mississippi. Let me see where is that at. Chickasaw County. Let me see. Is that by Tula? Chula? Yeah, I've been there. I have. I drove through it. When I went from Tula to West Point, you have to drive through there. Tupelo. It's not when you driving from Tupelo to West Point, you have to drive through there. It's about 2 hours from Walnut Grove. Yeah, I had to drive when I went to West Point. When I went to Tupelo, my brother's wedding was in Tupelo, and so we had to drive through there to get to West Point. That's where my grandfather was before they moved up north to Michigan. Yeah, you got to give us regions or close towns to Mississippi. Yeah, Fulton. I done been to Fulton. I'm trying to think of where else I have not been. Corinth. Um, Hollis Springs. So my aunt was a tax accountant, so she would do all kinds of business. Definitely Vicksburg and Natchez. I used to have a boyfriend that lived in Vicksburg. I had a boyfriend that lived in Yazoo City. I had a bunch of boyfriends in Mississippi. Mississippi niggas didn't mind wifing you up. They come, meet your family, take you out. You meet their family. So they didn't know no better. You fine, honey. They wear it out from the beginning. Especially during the time that I was living there. This is like 99, 2000, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005. Baby, you go in these small little towns, baby, I don't even know what a trans woman is, child. It was like, whatever you is, I'm ready. What we doing? Honeys. And they colorist too. Baby, I don't give a fuck what you are. You a red bone? Ooh. Yeah, there was a club called Booties in Canton, in between Carthage and Canton. Let me see if it's still over there. It was off of 610, off the Highway 16. I don't know. It was definitely a hole in the wall. I don't even know what it's when I googled it didn't show it, but it had a yellow sign. It was called Booties. And they played nothing but blues and like dance songs like Cha Cha Slide and Electric Slide, any kind of dance, black dance song. Tons of Peggy Scott. They'll play they play hip, mostly blues, but it'll be sometime hip hop. Like this also during Juvenile back that ass up era. So they was playing that. ZZ Hill, Johnny Taylor. Who's making love to your old lady while you was out making love? Johnny Taylor, Peggy Scott. Peggy Scott was I'm getting what I want. I'm just not getting it where you want it from. I'm getting what I want. Or Bill. Um, Denise LaSalle. Or somebody named Coco. Coco something. Not my last $2. Yes. Last $2. And Hole in the Wall, even Hole in the Wall. Hole in the Wall. Marvin, not Marvin Sapp, that's a gospel, but it's a Marvin something. Marvin Seeks. Marvin something. It's a Marvin too. But they played it. Not Marvin Sapp, that's gospel. But Marvin something. Now they play I think there's a newer artist named is it King George? He deep in that vein. He got a song called One Monkey Don't Stop No Show or something. I need a juke joint with a bartender with a heavy pour and a fish fry. That is a place called The Boutique. We're in the Grove. It's called The Boutique. They will have the bartender come in, the DJ come in, and they will be cooking in the back. Marvin Cease, yes. Marvin Cease. Him, they will be playing him a lot. Any of the popular R&B songs, any of the popular, of course, they were Stepping in the Name of Love. Any kind of dance they loved that get the party hype. Blues. And people coming from all the little towns. So it's not whoever had the best DJ. If you got a good DJ, baby, they coming. And it's old couples that's been together for 50-something years. So they got honey. Oh, I remember this chocolate, sexy old man. He still had one of them soul glow, not afros, but Jerry curls. The one that was like a mullet, but a Jerry curl. He still had one of them in 99, 2000. And he was so sexy with a big old dick. You could just see it sitting in his little tight little Wranglers. Like, God, I know he wearing her coochie out. New Orleans folks love Marvin Cease. But he used to be dancing. Baby, his little wife used to be on me, thinking I'm trying to take her old man. Baby, I sure would have had him too. You give me one chance. I know that thing is right up under there too. Because he still had a body. He was an older dude. He probably like in his early 60s. And he was tall and chocolate and had that Jerry curl mullet. And he will have the tight pants and the boots and the cowboy hats. Or he'll have his hair curl, his Jerry curl out. And them Wranglers will show all his little gifts. And she called herself trying to tell my tea. And baby, that ain't gonna do nothing but entice the niggas. You just making my job easier. Cause it make me stand out in the midst of all the, the fish or the sis. It made me stand out. And that's exactly what it did. Cause baby, he was on me after that. She used to have to out because it's a small little it's like it used to be a store, but it's just that's why they call it the boutique. But it's just a little, it's probably Yeah, it's probably as big as my apartment. And honey, if he see me dancing, he gonna come over and dance with me. And then she tried to spill my tea, and he still was coming over and dancing with me. I don't give a fuck about that shit. Mm-hmm. She used to be over it. Girl, you look good. Won't you back that ass up? But anyway, I also feel like y'all don't really have no more thoughts on other than, is it also okay that I don't really give a fuck? Not about the, potential predatory, but I don't really give a fuck the consequences that Sidney gets. Now, I don't want them to be super, super unfair, but I also am like, I have been so off of Sidney in regards to her shenanigans. I don't really care. She has been, she has done so much shit that I think has strategically been messy when it comes to the girls and what she do and what she say. I just feel like good luck, good riddance. Part of me is like good riddance. If that makes sense. Does that make sense? I don't want it to be super, super unfair, but I'm also like, child, that's what you get for being stupid. Your stupidity got you caught up in some dumb shit. Yeah, that's how I kind of feel. I feel like I'm not about to be super, super invested in your situation because I find you to be deplorable sometimes. Incorrigible. I'm kind of far removed from her that I don't care because she hasn't cared. Yeah, you haven't you haven't been smart enough to care. And also my thing also has always been you got all this attention, you don't went viral multiple times with you started off with the chingy stuff and then went on to other stuff. I feel like you haven't I feel like you haven't capitalized on what you should have capitalized on. Does that make sense? I feel like, girl, you had the potential to turn this into something. Cause it wasn't like even like it wasn't like the even like the reality star shit, the reality situations, like the legit ones, before you had to go to Zeus and go to the keep dropping down to the quality lower and lower and lower. You had the potential to be on the bigger ones. They were ripe and ready for that to happen. And your ass squandered the opportunity by being fucking weird. And you weren't smart enough to make sure they weren't playing you. It just felt like I just felt like they weren't. She didn't she didn't capitalize on what she could have capitalized in. Let them fag and punk her. Right. Yeah, I just didn't. And then in my mindset is like, I mean, did she have control over that? But I don't know. I don't know what she could have done, but I felt like in somebody else in her position. Like if you would have put Amaya Scott on Love and Hip Hop, I don't think it would have went down the way, that same kind of way. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know. I just felt like she would have maneuvered with it in a different way. Um, I don't know. But then we had that other girl on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. What was her name? D Smith or whatever. Um, I mean, have we seen what is she doing? Like, has she? Didn't she release a song recently? I don't know. I don't know. I just want to see the girls thrive, and I felt like she wasn't adding, she wasn't adding. You know, some girls is adding some good shit to the pot, and sometimes I feel like it needs to be balanced. It's kind of like Tamar. Like Tamar, she annoys me as a personality, but honey, she'll drop a cute little song, "Love and War." She'll pop you with some shit. Thinking about you all the way home. She'll pop you with something, but then she'll do some messy shit. She'll pop you with a kiki. You see what I'm saying? It's like a balance that Tamar does, to where she kind of, I don't know if this applies to other people, but it keeps me kind of liking her on a certain level. D Smith is producing for the folks. Oh, but that's good. I just haven't heard anything else that was big that I know of. Is there something that I missed that I don't know that she produced? Mm. Hey, Shonette. Um, yeah, that's what I want from like a that's what I would have wanted from a Sidney to, she does this and it's good, and then she does the messy stuff. But I guess she just wasn't smart enough to pivot. And so it felt like everything she continued to do kept going further and further down in quality. She produced Kokomo City. Oh, I do remember that. I didn't really get into that documentary. No, she did. I remember she did produce it. Yeah, I do remember that. But I didn't. I don't remember like watching it. I think I watched The Stroll and felt it was similar, so I think I clicked it, but didn't watch it all the way through. Something like that. I can't remember exactly what happened. It was given The Stroll. I really enjoyed The Stroll, but I don't think I. Yeah, she did. I do remember her being the producer of that, though. What else is going on? But that's all my thoughts on Sydney. What else is going on that y'all want to talk about? This is gonna be our last little 30 minutes. Trying to think of what I've seen. All of these funny ass political cases. The dude who ran against another Republican, and the other Republican fell out, and his black ass still lost. That was hilariously funny. They still voted for the white man, and he done dropped out of the race, and they still voted for him. That's how racist the side is. Have y'all watched any good documentaries lately? That Perez story was wild. What is the Perez story? Perez Hilton? What do you think of the Children of Blood and Bones? I'm excited about it coming out. Um, I think that's all my thoughts so far. Is I'm just excited about it coming out. I can't wait to see it. The Perez story. I don't know the Perez story. What is going on with Perez? I watched I'm Your Venus. Oh, good. I did a review on that a couple of months ago. Perez's mental state is unfortunate, but I don't feel bad for him. What is going on with his? I don't know anything about it. I don't follow white media people. Well, I don't keep up with them unless it's something, but I don't really know him like that. I know he was like popping back in the day when like Nicole Bitchy was popping, like when blogs was popping. He's going through a religious psychosis and was cutting himself on TikTok live while naked. Oh, oh, oh wow. Was he cutting himself like self mutilation, or he was actually trying to kill himself? Like, was it like weirdo self mutilation or actual suicide attempt? He was slicing and dicing himself up on live. Oh God. Well, it kind of feels like that situation with it kind of feels like that situation with Wendy. It's like when you in people's business and in their mess, people are gonna be insensitive about your mess. Looked like he had covered himself in ketchup. He's in the hospital now. Oh, okay. Damn. Yeah, I don't know his history. I didn't know. Is he going? Is it? I thought he was. I thought he was like. I think of him like B. Scott. Like I thought they were. They had a little. They had an uptick where they was like super super popping, and then now they're not popping no more. D. Smith directed one of the best documentaries I've seen. I don't know if that's the same person. Yeah, D. Smith got introduced to us because he produced. Oh, not he. She. She's a trans woman. She produced a song with Lil Wayne on Lil Wayne's album when I think she was still a boy at the time. She transitioned and she was on Love and Hip Hop, and then I guess her most recent thing was Kokomo producing Kokomo City, the documentary. He's not popping anymore, just a washed up gay man. Gotcha. Yeah, I always thought that they were like, they were a part of an era of the internet popping, and then they didn't pivot. Like they didn't pivot well. When I think of people who, yeah, they didn't. They just in my brain they just didn't pivot well. Because who is their version now? I think like Jason Lee is that version now. Um, who else that is still around? Jasmine Brands, the Shade Room. Yeah, I think we were introduced to D. Smith by, well, I won't say we. I was introduced to her because she produced a song for Lil Wayne, which is groundbreaking. And I think it was like a hit, like it was a thing. Um, and then she transitioned, and I seen her on Love and Hip Hop. And then the next time I saw her in person on a date in New York one time. Um, and then I saw her. Yeah, and I think the next thing I saw her was the documentary. Jason Lee and B. Scott didn't like each other. Paris Hilton rise alongside Wendy Williams. Who rose alongside Wendy Williams? None of the people we talking about. Wendy been around for a long, long time on radio. Wendy, who rose alongside Wendy? She got a Grammy for Lil Wayne. Oh, good. Wasn't D. Smith dating one of the guys from B5? I don't know nothing about D. Smith. I don't know nothing about her other than what I just was talking about. As far as like her personal life, I don't know nothing about that. I got into D. Smith when she was on Love and Hip Hop, so I know whatever information about that. And then yes, somebody did just reminded me of the documentary, so I forgot that she produced it, but I do. Yeah, I remember that too. But as far as who she was dating, ooh, I don't know. I don't know nothing about. I didn't follow her like that. I watched a documentary called The Pearl this weekend about four middle-aged and senior trans women who came out later in life. It was interesting. It's on Tubi. Hmm. What did you like about it? What was interesting about it? Come on, senior trans women. Were they already trans and was stealth and came out, or were they transitioned at an older age? Because I would like to see a documentary of that, of stealth girls who came out, who's been living stealth, but as they got older, they got more free and started being, open about their transness. Lauren Hill is overrated. Mean Mugger Award. What does that have to do with anything, vampire? Because he was a real nasty gossip columnist at first, and no one liked him. Oh, I don't think, I don't think that is Wendy's story though. I think a lot of people liked Wendy. Was she messy? Was she a gossip columnist that some celebrities who she spilled tea on didn't like? Yes. But her audience, I think many of her audience liked her. They liked Wendy. Did they know she was messy? Did they like that part of her? Yes. I think a lot of people liked her. Because even now, even literally today, with all this mess going on, I see somebody post a status saying, I wish Wendy was around during all of this mess. I think there are people who liked her. People strategically dropped tea to Wendy. She was a tool in Hollywood. Hmm. They were from the Pacific Northwest, so their sensibilities was starkly different from what I'm used to seeing. That's why it was interesting. They were stealth. They weren't stealth. I'm going down a rabbit hole of watching documentaries about the casted girls of the Louisiana Purchase, purchasing the ones that were sent to New Orleans and Mobile, Alabama. Two of them were siblings and lived together and had been hiding. They were trans from each other for years. Are all of these people Caucasian? Matt, people strategically drop T. Oh, yeah. A fight between the two is what brought it out. Oh, are these Caucasian women? These sound like Caucasian women, honey. It's giving caucasity. It's giving caucasity, baby. Mm. Not they both trans. They both brothers, and then they both dressing in drag behind the scenes. Mm. Yeah, that's a different breed of T.S. Grey Gardens. Isn't that documentary was a key? Grey Gardens was a key. I love that. Just I put on Grey Gardens just to cackle. I got a video. I got a video on my phone that I love to post sometime. When her mother is in the bed and she's like, I don't know why you recording her. This is nuts. You wasting all your camera and your film on this because this is nuts. It's so funny the way she say it. I don't know why you wasting your recording and camera on her because this is nuts. Grey Gardens was a classic. If you have never seen Grey Gardens, y'all need to watch it. It's so funny. So it is about. I haven't watched it in a long time, but it's these two, a mother and a daughter, right? They're not sisters. It's a mother and a daughter, right? A mother and a daughter. They are mentally like they're like mentally off. An eccentric mother daughter duo. Yes, they're like mentally off. Is the mama mentally off, or is it? I know the daughter is, but is the mama just eccentric, or is the mama? I don't know. They have because of their mental offness, they have become isolated in their home, Grey Gardens. The property is called Grey Gardens, right? They both throwed off, but the mama was less thrown off. Yes, the mom, they were raised so they come up in the time of like what's her name? Kennedy, Jacqueline Kennedy. So they are from that lineage. They're from the Kennedy lineage line, like the upper class people. They married into money, that whole upper class people. So they got a little coin. The mama was like the real documentary that's what we're talking about. There also was a movie that was made with Jessica Lange and Drew Barrymore that depicted it too, called Grey Gardens as well. Wasn't that Jessica Lange? I think they are the Bouviers. Yes, that's Jacqueline Kennedy's maiden name. Um Jessica Lange and Drew Barrymore. Drew Barrymore plays the daughter, and Jessica Lange plays the older woman. And so what you see is the mother is, she's the life of the party. She got coins. She invites people to her property. She's known for throwing the parties, but they start getting older and money is running out. You get what I'm saying? And so they stop, when your coins is running out, baby, people ain't trying to come and hobnob with you. And so what you're watching in the real documentary is you come into where they have declined health wise and declined in everything, money, health, and life. So it is only her and her daughter living in squalor in this house, and somebody come in with the camera and they're recording their interactions and their day-to-day stuff. And it's like, these bitches is nuts. It's when the dad died that they start to lose shit. Yes, the men of the one of them, whoever the husband is, dies. And so, you know, the property declines, everything declines, the money, the property. And because they were so wealthy at some point, it lasts for a long time. But it's sad, but it's also a key, because you see these two crazy motherfuckers, they're still trying to hold on to high class society. Do you see what I'm saying? And so they're making their own clothes. It's wild. It's such a good documentary. Jackie couldn't be bothered until the media found out. Yes. They also become sequestered and isolated because her daughter got sick and lost her hair. She was formerly a beauty queen. Yes. Yes. And so it's a layered of the layers of the emotional layers and trauma that I picked up on is there's a jealousy, there's a conversation about aging with the mother who is the life of the party and the beauty, and then she declines in regards to age, and then you have her daughter. So jealousy of her daughter being beautiful and becoming a beauty queen after she has lived her own life as a beauty and kind of, and it's a envy, jealousy kind of undergird in the storyline. There's an aging conversation like, damn, I used to be the life of the party and the girl, and used to be the it girl and have the best parties, and now I'm this. um it's a lot of underlying thing, and because y'all both got and then there's a beauty in it because they're going through this as mother and daughter, and there's a togetherness there. I don't know if that makes sense, but there's a beauty in it because they never really left each other. um yeah, it's an interesting, it's sad and interesting. It's like a beautiful train wreck. That's it's like a beautiful train wreck. Yes, in and enter Jackie O being the beauty queen to the nation, right? She marries the president, their cousin, and they're bickering in a rotting estate. Yes. Yeah, it was beautifully tragic. Some of her repurposed fashions were the brown sweater she turned into a mini skirt, and the top ate me. I lived. It's certain, especially when she would have um the headdress. Um it's parts of it that I live. You can see when they were that girl. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. So if you've never seen the documentary, definitely watch it. It's a key. I feel like it's full of memeable moments. I have a bunch of videos where I done recorded it as reaction videos. But my favorite part is her mama being in the bed. You wasting your camera on this because this is nuts. Cracked up. It was so funny to me. She talking about astrology on the porch was a fab scene. Yes. When she was tanning. Oh, I'm about to rewatch it again. The documentary and the movie was good to me. No shade. Hmm. But yeah, if you never watched it, watch it. It's so good. Mm. How long has it been since I had a dream that I was in hillbilly hell? How long has it been since I lived in a town without pity? How long has it been since I lived the man who shot liberty violence? Oh. Okay. Do you have like a canon queer film you think are a must see? Mm, I have to sit and think about it. I haven't really thought about it. Um, like if I had to tell somebody to look at movies, I mean the classics like Paris is Burning, Watermelon Woman, um, Watermelon Woman, classic films. Um, Boys Don't Cry, The Crying Game. And these are not perfect, but they're just basic representation that you need to have historical context for. Um, Su Wong Fu. I feel like Tu Wong Fu is sickening. Um, what in the mama eating cat food like pate? Yes, girl. Crazy. It's just crazy. Um, I just rewatched Pretty Woman. I watched a couple of whatever. I went to Netflix has this section that says they're about to go, like they're about to go off the platform, and Pretty Woman is one. And I watched Pretty Woman for the first time. It's such propaganda. Ah, Lang Yu, the Asian Pretty Woman. I feel like the memoir of a geisha was the Asian Pretty Woman. Memoir of a geisha. I feel like that was the Asian Pretty Woman. I've never seen Pretty Woman. Really? I love Pretty Woman. That's when Richard Gere was fine. So was Julia. It was in her prime too. Pretty Woman is one of my favorite movies. Um, The gag that she was actually a high class escort. The actress in memoirs. Hmm. Work. The actress was in real life. I don't know nothing about the actors in that. The actress in real life was a high class escort. I could believe it. She has a look. Yes, for politicians. Work. As it should be. What other queer canon films? Um, Color Purple. Color Purple. Um, all of Noah's Ark. You need to watch Noah's Ark. Um, the series. It's not a film, but it's a series. Philadelphia. Um, what else? What else? What else? What is queer canon film? Oz? Hmm. Queer, is that queer canon? I feel like Wire. Queer canon? The Oz? I don't know. I watched Philadelphia for the first time a few months ago. Philadelphia was good. Um, let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Hedwig and the Angry Itch. I've never seen that, but I would consider that queer canon. Rag Day British film. Oh, I've never watched that. I don't even know what that is. Pariah. I never heard of that. Hey, New York. How to Survive a Plague gave me a nice, succinct education. How to Survive a Plague. I've never watched that. I don't even know what that is. I don't know if a Philadelphia movie will work today. Why not? Pariah was good. Black lesbian coming of age story. Kim Wayans plays the mother. She was like, it's the Kim Wayans was the mom who was the homophobe, but the dad was like, leave her alone, right? The dad was the one that was like, stop bothering her. I think I seen a clip of it, but I ain't never watched it. Oh, Aggressive is really good. Yes, Aggressive documentary is good. Yes, Aggressives for sure. Oh, two is it Two Lovers? What's a documentary on Netflix about the two white lesbians who were longtime friends from decades and they finally got to get married as they was old? Two lovers or two friends, something. I thought that that was really, really good. What else? I can't think of anything else that I would think of. I got tons of books. Any Eric Jerome Dickey, any Elin Harris, John Boswell, um, John Boswell, Christianity and the History of Intolerance. I think so. That's the name of it. Um, Black on Both Sides. I think you should read both of Janet Mock's books. Any of the memoirs like Janet Mock. I think Madison got one. I think Laverne's new book. Any other trans girls' memoirs, I think you should read just to know their history and their type. Yeah, Madison has a book that came out a long time ago. I think somebody ghost read it for her. I think about her history. I think so. She got mute. It's like she came out with her like her music. Intentionally Erased is a documentary we should see for sure. Yes, that is a documentary that I co-produced with A Call to Men, and it is a conversation between Black trans women and Black cis men about toxic masculinity and violence. It came out in 2003. I don't know where they are streaming it at. They're being weird about. I feel like they wanted to produce it when it started because trans shit is hot in the streets. But now that that shift has happened, they're not doing anything with it. And then when I asked them, let me do something with it, they kind of like, they always dropping the ball. So I'm over them, which is why I don't be promoting it. Times Square Red, Times Square Blue by Samuel Delaney. I think I will watch the aggressive. I don't know where they have put it.
When I wake up, I remind myself.
Mm. Early 2000s New York aggressive. Yes, it's giving aggressives. It's giving the studs of the 90s, the early trans men of the 90s. It's giving, yeah, I think it's classic. It's definitely a classic. I love it because you get to see a young Marquise. You get to, it's a beautiful. I think it's beautiful. It's a beautiful time capsule. I wonder where so many of the girls are saying they've seen it. Well, they play it in. Um, so I played it at 2023 BTEC, and so a lot of the girls seen it there. It was a lot of I think it was like about 100 people in there. 100 and maybe like 120. Here in Houston, they played it at the University of Houston. I had to kind of go off of them because they kind of pissed me off because why are you going to play my film and not invite me to the showing? It not only was I'm the co-producer of the film, it's two people in the film that live in Houston. Why wouldn't you invite the people who were involved with the film to the screening? So that pissed me off. Because I just felt weird. Like, why wouldn't you invite the people to the screening? That's crazy. Um, and then um, a couple of people in Massachusetts and at Boston University and at another event showed it there. And then somebody showed it in California in the Bay Area, San Francisco. I just remember people emailing me about it, about them finally seeing a screening. So it's been shown at a couple of places, and of course, we won a couple of LGBT film awards. So we got to show them in Atlanta. So it's been seen. Just I felt like we could have did like a tour, and they didn't. They didn't. They didn't. the rollout just wasn't what they should have done. I saw it on YouTube. They must have opened it up because it's never on. I never see it on YouTube. I never when I search for it. Let me see if I search for it and see what comes up. I only see the trailer. Yeah, I only see the trailer. I don't see the actual film. What are you talking about? Shonya, are you talking about aggressive or intentionally erased? Yes, it is. She was in the film. Yeah, when I search for it on YouTube, I only see the um the trailer. Mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Well, I'm about to get off here, and it's an event on my video game that I'm about to start. So I will talk to y'all later. Make sure y'all thumbs up and make sure y'all subscribe if you're new here. Yeah. But I will talk to y'all later. Bye, y'all.